Shalom. The second census is complete. The daughters of Tzlofchad have changed the inheritance law. Yahushua has been installed as Moshe's successor. Israel is standing at the border of the land, ready to cross. And before they cross, before the first battle, before the first allocation of territory, the Creator gives Moshe something that may seem like administrative detail: a schedule, daily, weekly, monthly, at Pesach, at Shavuot. Here is the exact detail. Here is the exact quantity. Here is the exact grain offering and the exact drink offering. Here is what happens every morning. Here is what is added on Shabbat. Here is what happens at the new moon. Here is the Pesach offering for all 7 days. Here is Shavuot. Numbers 28 is not administrative detail. It is the Creator's declaration of how He intends to be worshipped precisely, regularly, and always in its appointed time. And the Hebrew phrase at the center of this chapter, Bemo Ado, in its appointed time, will tell you everything about why the chapter matters. Stay with me. Welcome to Torah Studio with saxophone worship, verse by verse through scripture. Numbers 28 is the first half of a 2-chapter unit that covers the complete annual worship calendar. Numbers 28 covers the Tamid daily offering, the Shabbat addition, the Rosh Chodesh new moon offering, the Pesach 7-day festival, and Shavuot. Numbers 29 will cover Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and the full Sukkot calendar. Together, these 2 chapters are the Creator's own specification for how Israel is to approach Him, not randomly, not when the mood strikes, not on human-designed occasions, but on His calendar, in His quantities, with His specified animals and grains. Like and subscribe, because Numbers 28 has a word for every person who has been approaching the Creator on their own schedule, wondering why the encounter feels thin. Open with me to Numbers chapter 28, verse 1. The Creator speaks to Moshe. Command the children of Israel and say to them, my offering, my food, for my offerings made by fire as a sweet aroma to me. You shall be careful to offer to me at their appointed time. Be moadah. 2 male lambs in the first year without blemish, day by day as a regular burnt offering. 1 lamb in the morning, 1 lamb. That's verse 4. Each lamb accompanied by 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with a 1/4 hin of pressed oil, and a drink offering, a 1/4 hin of strong drink for each lamb. It is a regular burnt offering which was ordained at Mount Sinai as a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Creator. The Tamid was not invented at this point in Bamidbar. It was ordained at Sinai. The reader is being reminded that this schedule was established at the beginning of the covenant, at the mountain. What Numbers 28 is doing is restating the full calendar for the new generation about to enter the land, so they know exactly how to maintain the covenant worship system in the territory they are about to possess. The worship that never stops. The word Tamid means continual, regular, always. It is not a word for occasional or seasonal worship. It describes a worship practice that does not stop, not when the weather changes, not when the camp is grieving, not when there has been a plague, not when leadership is transitioning. Every morning and every evening, 2 lambs, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour, 1/4 hin of oil, 1/4 hin of strong drink. The Tamid is the heartbeat of the tabernacle. As long as it beats, the covenant relationship is active. The design of the Tamid is deeply intentional. One offering opens the day. The morning lamb creates a consecrated space in which all of the day's activity takes place within a frame of offering to the Creator. One offering closes the day. The evening lamb returns the day to the Creator and acknowledges that what happened in the daylight hours was sustained by His presence. The entire day, from dawn to dusk, is bracketed by fire, flour, oil, and wine given to the Creator. Nothing the nation does during those hours is outside the frame of consecrated offering. The Tamid establishes the fundamental principle of Numbers 28. The Creator is to be approached on a schedule not on impulse. There is morning and there is evening, two fixed points of orientation toward the Creator, and everything in between happens within the frame those two offerings create. A life of covenant faithfulness is not built on extraordinary moments of spiritual intensity. It is built on the Tamid, the daily, regular, consistent return to the Creator in the morning and the evening. What is the Tamid of your own walk? The daily, morning, and evening practice that keeps the covenant relationship active. Every morning, one lamb. Every evening, one lamb. Day by day without stopping. The Tamid was the heartbeat of the tabernacle. Numbers 28 says, the Creator is approached on a schedule, not on impulse. A covenant walk is built on not on extraordinary moments, but on the daily morning and evening return to the Creator. Let's read on from verses 9 through to 15. On the Shabbat day, two male lambs in their first year without blemish, and 2/10 of an ephah of refined flour as a grain offering with oil, with its drink offering. This is the Shabbat burnt offering for every Shabbat, besides the regular Tamid burnt offering with its drink offering. On Shabbat, the Tamid is not replaced, it is doubled. The two daily lambs of the Tamid still have, and two additional lambs are added. Shabbat worship is distinguished not by doing something different, but by doing more. The seventh day receives what the 6 days receive, and then additional. Shabbat is quantitatively elevated above the weekday, built on the same foundation of daily offering. Rosh Chodesh, the new moon, two young bullocks, one ram, and 7 lambs of the first year, all without blemish, with their corresponding grain offerings, flour and oil scaled to each animal type, and one male goat as a sin offering, all in addition to the Tamid. The new moon offering is considerably larger than the Shabbat addition, a full new configuration of animals for each new moon month, demonstrating that the monthly renewal of the calendar cycle is itself a significant occasion before the Creator. The structure of Numbers 28 calendar reveals a principle about how the Creator designed the rhythm of worship. Layering. The Tamid is the foundation, it never stops. On Shabbat, the Tamid continues and additional offerings are added on top. On Rosh Chodesh, the Tamid continues and a completely new configuration of animals is added. On festival days, the Tamid continues and the full festival offering is added on top of that. Nothing replaces the Tamid, everything is built on it. The new moon offering, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs, 1 goat, is the largest regular monthly offering in the calendar. The new moon is the moment of the calendar's renewal, when the month begins fresh. The Creator's specification of a significant offering at Rosh Chodesh reflects a principle about covenant time. Each new cycle begins with a formal acknowledgement that the time itself belongs to the Creator and is presented back to Him because it is used. The layered structure of Numbers 28, Tamid as foundation, Shabbat as elevation, New Moon as fresh beginning, offers a model for covenant rhythms. The daily practice is not diminished by the weekly elevation or the monthly renewal. Each layer sits on the one beneath it. In your walk with the Creator, what is your Tamid? What is your Shabbat elevation? The moment in your week where what you do every day is done with more. And what is your Rosh Kodesh? The moment of new beginning where you return the new cycle to the Creator before you use it. On Shabbat, the Tamid continues and 2 more lambs are added on top. Nothing replaces the daily offering. It is elevated. Numbers 28 says the rhythm of covenant worship is layered. The weekly rest is built on the daily practice. The monthly renewal is built on the weekly one. You cannot skip the foundation and build the elevation. Let's look at verses 16 through to 25. On the 14th day of the first month, the Pesach of the Creator, on the 15th begins the 7-day feast of unleavened bread. The first day is a holy convocation, Mikra Kodesh. No servile work shall be done. Pesach burnt offering for each of the 7 days. 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year, with their grain offerings. 3/10 of an ephah of flour for each bullock, 2/10 for the ram, 1/10 for each lamb, plus one male goat as a sin offering, all in addition to the morning tamid. Then you shall offer to the Creator daily for 7 days the food of the offering made by fire of sweet aroma. It shall be offered besides the regular tamid and its drink offering. The seventh day is also convocation, no servile work. The Pesach festival is 7 days of elevated worship, with the first and seventh days marked as holy convocations and no work. Each of the 7 days receives a complete festival offering, always in addition to the tamid that never stops. Pesach is not one day, it is 7. A common misunderstanding of Pesach is that it is a single day, the 14th, ninth of the Lamb, the night of the Lamb. But Numbers 28 specifies 7 days of festival offerings, 2 of which are holy convocations. The slaughter of a Pesach lamb on the 14th day begins the festival, but the worship season that follows is a full week. The creation is not satisfied with a single night of remembrance. The Creator is not satisfied with a single night of remembrance. He commands 7 days of elevated offerings, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs, 1 goat, every day, built on the tamid that continues underneath. The 7 day structure of Pesach mirrors the 7 day structure of creation. 7 days of unleavened bread, 7 sets of festival offerings, 2 bookend days of holy convocation, the first and the 7th, creating a complete week of consecrated time. The middle 5 days are not ordinary. They are called Kol HaMoed in the tradition, the secular days of the festival, but they still receive a full day's worth of festival offering. Even the middle of Pesach week is elevated above a normal weekday. Numbers 28 teaches that the great moments of covenant remembrance are not meant to be single day events. The Creator's design for Pesach, the foundational redemption narrative of Israel, is a full week of offering, remembrance, and holy assembly. The intensity of the 14th is meant to sustain 7 days of elevated living. Ask, when you observe the covenant's great moments, are you giving them the full week the Creator designed, or are you collapsing them into a single night and returning to ordinary time before the Creator's calendar has released you? Pesach is not one night, it is 7 days, 2 holy convocations, a complete week of elevated offerings built on top of the tamid that never stops. Numbers 28 says, the great moments of covenant remembrance are not single day events. The Creator designed a full week. Don't leave the festival before the calendar releases you. Let's look at verse 26 onwards. On the day of first fruits, now the Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks, the day of first fruits. On the day of first fruits, when you bring the new grain offering to the Creator at Shavuot, a holy convocation, no servile work. The Shavuot burnt offering, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year with their grain offerings, 3 tenths for each bullock, 2 tenths for the ram, 1 tenth for each lamb, 1 male goat to make atonement for you, all in addition to the tamid. Shavuot receives the same structure as each day of Pesach, 2 bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs, 1 goat, but it is a single day rather than 7. But Pesach spreads across a week. Shavuot concentrates into one day. Shavuot is a festival of the first fruits of the wheat harvest, 50 days after Pesach. The new grain offering brought to the Creator at Shavuot is a presentation of the first product of the new crop season. The Creator receives the first before anything is used for human consumption. The Shavuot offering is in Numbers 28 centers on the Mincha Kadasha, the new grain offering. Kadasha means new. This is the first grain of the new harvest, presented to the Creator before any of it is used. The first fruits principle runs through the entire Torah system. The first of everything, the firstborn animal, the first of the grain, the first of the fruit belongs to the Creator and is presented to Him before anything else is used. Shavuot is the annual enactment of this principle at the national level. The Shavuot offering structure, 2 bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs, 1 goat, is identical to a single day of Pesach. The Creator places the same weight on the day of first fruits as on each day of the redemption week. This is not coincidental. Pesach is a redemption from Egypt. The Creator claimed Israel's freedom. Shavuot is the first fruits of the harvest. The Creator claims the first produce of the land He gave them. Both are claims of ownership. Pesach, I own your freedom. Shavuot, I own the first of everything your freedom produces. The first fruit principle of Numbers 28 applies to more than grain. The Torah's pattern of first to the Creator before use by human is a principle about the order of claim. Creators claim on the first of what you produce, your time, your income, your energy, your creativity, precedes your own use of it. Shavuot is the annual national practice of this principle. Are you giving the Creator the first fruits of what this season is producing in your life before you use it yourself? Shavuot, the day of first fruits, the first grain of the new harvest presented to the Creator before any human use. Numbers 28 says, the Creator's claim on his first precedes your use of the rest. This is not just an agricultural principle, it is the order of ownership, first to the Creator, always. Numbers 28 is the Creator's worship calendar, precise, layered, and always memorable in its appointed time. Four things this chapter gives you: the Tamid, which is the worship that never stops. Every morning and every evening, two lamps, flour, oil, and wine. The heartbeat of the covenant. A walk with the Creator is built not on extraordinary moments, but on the daily, morning, and evening return. The layered structure. Nothing replaces the Tamid. Shabbat adds to it. Rosh Chodesh adds to it. Festivals add to it. You cannot skip the foundation and build the elevation. The daily practice sustains the weekly, monthly, and annual ones. Pesach is 7 days. The Creator designed a full week of elevated worship around the great moment of redemption. The intensity of the 14th sustains 7 days. Do not collapse a week-long covenant occasion into a single night. The first fruits principle. Shavuot presents the first of the harvest, the Creator before human use. The Creator's claim on the first of what you produce precedes your use of the rest. First, the Creator, always. The question Numbers 28 leaves with you. What is the Tamid of your covenant walk? The daily, consistent practice that keeps the relationship active. And are you giving the Creator the first fruits of this season before you use it yourself? Thank you for walking through Numbers 28 with me. Like, share, subscribe at Torah Studio. And do not miss Numbers 29, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, the full autumn festival calendar, the most offering dense period of the entire Torah calendar. Shalom.